Pierce County communities of Browns Point and Dash Point are without several of their life-saving tools. Thieves picked through a fire engine while it was parked at a grocery store.
This is a story Jeremy Harris covered for our sister station, KOMO News. Holly Menino sat down with him to talk more about what happened.
One of the stories we've been covering lately is fire trucks getting targeted by thieves, and one recently happened in Tacoma. Jeremy Harris is here. This is a story you have been covering, not just in Tacoma, but also in Seattle. Bring us up to speed on the latest situation, though, in Tacoma.
Yeah, so this was a fire crew that they went to the QFC that's in northeast Tacoma. They're actually the fire department that serves the small little town of Browns Point and Dash Point, if you're familiar with that area. They go to the grocery store, they're inside, somebody comes running inside and says, hey, there is somebody going through your fire truck, you got to go stop him. So they go screaming out and they see this truck taking off and they can see their tools in the back of it. So it was really a scary moment for them because they don't know who this person is, they don't know what their intent is. They watch them drive off and here's their saws, their axes, all of their tools from their fire truck had been stolen while they were in there at the grocery store.
Those tools taken right out of the fire truck and then put into some kind of trailer and driven off?
Yep, so that's what they said. They say a white truck with a U-Haul trailer, and they just saw it speed through, run a stop sign. So, and this is something that I was talking with these fire crews, and it's interesting because they said we'd heard about this happening up in Seattle. We didn't think this would happen to us here in this case in Tacoma and this fire department that serves Browns Point. They thought, you know, we heard about fire thefts. We didn't think it would happen to us, but right now that's what we're seeing is we have thieves who there is just kind of no line that they're not willing to cross, and so they see the fire truck, they see the fire crew go in, they know they may have a few minutes, and those compartments on the truck, they are designed because when the fire truck, they can't be typing in a keypad in an emergency, they need it now, so those compartments are not locked most of the time, so they just go in, open it, and these guys, I think, knew what they were looking for.
This is a small department. A lot of the firefighters are most likely volunteers. What is the impact on a department like this when it comes to losing what? How much was lost?
Well, the initial estimate is at least 10,000. That's probably going to be a lot higher. And the thing is, these tools are not just something you can go into Lowe's or Home Depot and buy off the shelf. A lot of times this is special order stuff, and it's taken them years to get this gear together for their fire department kit. So for a small department like Browns Point, you know, they do not have a lot of resources at Seattle Fire, and this is a problem for Seattle Fire, but they have backups and they have redundancy and they have extra gear. They have a lot of more infrastructure, but so for this small town department, they are really in a tight spot here because they don't have extras of all their equipment. So now they're trying to figure out not only how do we physically order this stuff and get this stuff back in order, now how are we going to pay for it? And they don't really have that deep pocket, so they're in trouble.
They're trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah.
This is an issue, as you mentioned, we've seen, especially in Seattle. Talk about what has happened in Seattle specifically when it comes to fire trucks, fire crews being targeted.
Yes, so this got on our radar really starting, I think, in 2022. We started to notice a lot of thefts coming in from Seattle Fire. This would be everything from they're at a call and somebody rifles around and grabs something. There was a Seattle Fire crew very similar to what happened in Tacoma. They were at the Fred Meyer in Ballard last summer, and same thing, people pulled up, started picking stuff off their truck. We've also seen thefts from firehouses. We've actually seen firefighters where they're out on a call, they come back and their personal trucks at the fire station have been windows broken, stuff stolen. So I think part of it is, you know, they're our first responders. They're focused on a life or death emergency, and thieves know that their attention is going to be shifted away, so they're taking advantage of that. And what are these thieves doing with all this stolen stuff?
That was my next question. What are they doing?
Well, these are really high quality tools, and so they use them in burglaries. They can cut through fences. You know, you got to cut through a car, you got to cut through a building. So they say these are really high quality tools. They can use them to then commit burglaries. I wouldn't be surprised. We've also reported on the issue of people stealing fiber optic cables that cut internet and phone lines. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those saws that are being used to cut those phone and internet lines are being done with tools that have been stolen from firefighters.
So Seattle Fire has made some changes to prevent this from happening. What are they doing? So
Seattle Fire, in some calls, they have actually told people you're going to stay behind at the firehouse just to guard it if they can. But if it's a big fire, if it's something, they need everybody they can. So they can't just let somebody stay behind to babysit the fire station. But that's what they're doing on certain calls. We also have a terrible police shortage here in Seattle. So that's one frustration I've heard from firefighters really everywhere is we need police with us on a lot of these calls, and sometimes it's a 30-minute or they just can't come because they're too busy. So it's really a tough spot, and they say they rely on citizens who may see something suspicious, and that's what happened in this case in Tacoma. Somebody saw something that wasn't right in the parking lot. They ran in, told them, said, hey, something's going on out here. So they're asking people to just watch their backs for them when their attention is turned.
It's so unfortunate that fire crews even have to think about that and take that precaution, because allowing that one firefighter to stay back with the truck takes that firefighter away from critical work being done.
They're in a predicament because they don't want to have their stuff stolen. They don't want to have their firehouses broken into, but they need everybody they can to be on that line. Now, this was a case where they're just going to the grocery store to grab dinner and then head back to the fire station. And they just thought, yeah, and this is not really a high crime area. I mean, it's Northeast Tacoma, Federal Way, Dash Point. These are very nice communities. And they're like, you know, we didn't think these problems were going to hit us here. But it is a wake-up call that there really is no safe place, and these firefighters are going to have to keep their guard up.
It's happening all over, and it's just more of a call for the public to, if you see something suspicious, speak up, and that's what that person did in this situation.
Right. And also Seattle Fire says they've been working with people who live around their fire stations and said, hey, you know, do you have cameras? Can, you know, if you see something, please call 911. So they're trying to adapt to this threat as much as they can. And the other solution is there are some more expensive solutions in terms of the fire trucks where they can get more easier release locks. There's some things they can do, but all of that again costs money, and it's not like these fire departments are, you know, have money coming out of their pockets. So it's a tough spot to be in.
It's unfortunate too that we're in it. Okay,
totally.
Jeremy, thanks so much, and thanks for covering this.
Thank you.
All right, back to you.
Jeremy, another one of our reporters that's just on top of it.
Yeah.
But what is frightening to me is how this could become more of a widespread problem than it already is. And I think about these smaller fire departments that don't have as many resources, like the fire department in Dash Point or Browns Point. It's a lot of money, and these are life-saving tools that are just being taken from them.
It makes me angry, and shame on whoever those people are that are doing that to those fire departments, especially those smaller departments who don't have the resources like Seattle, and think about those lives that potentially could have been impacted by their horrific actions. Shame on them for sure.